Hello there, my beautiful friends, my fellow space blobs, earth blobs, sparkly blobs, spirit blobs, whatever kind of spirit or blob that you are connecting with and communing with right now. I am so happy to have you here. If you are new here, my name is Sarah, and I am an intuitive and an historian and just a general overall seeker and explorer and storyteller. So welcome into this space. We are doing something a little bit different here today. It's a special time of year, and I was feeling really inspired to get a little bit more personal because I think this topic of the spirits we've seen, the experiences we've all had, is so beautiful to share with each other and to converse about, and do it in such a way that doesn't feel paranoid or freaked out or stressed, but to just get curious. I'm by no means an expert on this topic or here to give any answers or any specific way to move through this. I think each of us has such a unique experience when it comes to the way that we've connected to the energetic world that there's no way that I could speak to everybody's experience. However, I have noticed with this topic that as we share it, a lot of us will find that we have overlapping experiences or shared experiences, and it takes away some of the shame and the feeling that we have to hide those parts of ourselves, and just brings up so much curiosity. Like every time I have a conversation with another person about what they've experienced, I'm always getting goosebumps and just in awe of the interconnectivity of this life. So I thought today that I would share one of the more important things that I have experienced throughout my life and how that has helped me and shaped me and brought me to deeper understanding in some ways, and has also left me with a lot of questions. And just sharing this story, I think, is going to be so fun and therapeutic because I have never talked about this in the 7 years that I have been sharing this work with everybody here. I have never talked about my personal story when it comes to seeing spirits, seeing energy, connecting with it in a really specific way. So I'm really excited to explore this with you. My experience has been with me most of my life and continues to be an element that shows up. It might be more pronounced in certain seasons and less pronounced in other seasons. I've gone a couple of years without having a connection with this energy, and I've also had seasons where it's been really, really consistent. And it started when I was probably about 6 or 7, and it was most prominent between then and 25. Those 20-ish years of my life, these energies were really, really present and would visit me very frequently, especially in my teens and early 20s. It got to be a really, really potent part of my life. And the energy that I would see most often was this blue, violet, glowing spirit. And it would often look, kind of similar to me. Long hair, in kind of a feminine form, really gentle. And it would be this really interesting energy. It was not scary. It was not spooky. It was very ethereal. It was very calm, very curious. Curious is probably the number one word I would describe with this energy. And it would almost always show up as I was about to fall asleep. I'd be getting really close to falling asleep, and then suddenly I would feel somebody was here with me. And then there would be the energy, sometimes at the foot of my bed, sometimes standing, across the room. The time that really stuck out to me where I really realized, okay, I'm working with something here, was the time that she was like this. And that makes it look creepy, honestly, because that looks like something from a horror movie. If you had somebody like smiling at you like that, it's scary. It wasn't scary though. It wasn't creepy at all. It had no malicious energetic. Like I said, curious was the biggest word. It was as though this energy had never experienced being human, but was very curious about it, very loving toward it, wanted to understand, wanted to be there for it, wanted to see into that experience. And so would just be curious and caring toward my experience. And I found it a little bit rude at different times. I'll be honest, I'm a little like, I'm trying to rest. it's not the greatest time to be observed. I don't know why this is when you would like to show up. And a lot of times it would really jar me, when I'd be kind of getting relaxed and then it would happen. This energy would be there in the room with me and, my heart would speed up, even though I knew there was nothing malicious about it. It's just very surprising. And I would turn on the light and of course the moment would dissipate and they wouldn't be there anymore. And I'd calm down and, just bring myself back into a calm space. It was normally a little bit hard to fall asleep for a while after that, understandably, even though I kept having these experiences and I didn't feel in danger and I didn't feel that anything was going to happen. It was so intriguing and so enlivening and so mysterious that it would really wake me up and get me thinking about what is going on here and what is this energy trying to show me? And is there something I'm supposed to be doing? And how do I work with it? And quite honestly, I've never been able to answer that question fully and get, a nice, concise conclusion to the whole thing. One theory I kind of have with it is from about 6 or 7 to 25 was an intense time of life. I mean, you could say growing up and figuring out how to be this person and developing and going through a lot of heavy and intense things. For me, these energies often felt like little guardians that were tending to me and taking care of me and looking out for me. And I think that was why that curious energy was so prominent in the visitations, because it was these energies that are from this other level of existence, that are connected to a different way of seeing the world. So they're curious about human despair and stress and exhaustion and want to understand it and also want to help and soothe. And so I do feel like to some extent these were energies that were little reminders of something important within me that I needed to come back to, and also just keeping an eye on me, taking care of me, looking out for me. In that vulnerable time of going to bed, I think it was such a special check-in time. And so I think that's part of the reason they were so prominent. They don't visit as often now, I think because I've kind of stepped into my own and I don't need that kind of guidance in the same visceral kind of visitation way. But I feel that energy, I think, when I'm paying attention in my day now, I think it shaped me in the sense that I'm really aware that that's there. And I'm really grateful for that because it's a reminder that as much as it feels like sometimes the mundane physical world, and I mean mundane in the sense of the world, we're here, we're moving through it, going through these little motions in each day, it can be easy to sideline this part of ourselves and say, oh, is that even real? Does it even matter? But having those visitations, having that connection, having that sight on this energy that I still find really mysterious. I never got nice, tidy answers about what their role was or, what they were trying to do. All I can do is intuit what I felt from those energies. But their presence allowed me to remember that there's so much more and give me this kind of sense of like, it's not just something that I'm making up. And there are a few different theories out there. The internet, when you have one of these experiences, it's very fun to Google search and see what people have said about it. And there are plenty of different ways that this kind of energy has been described. I'm sure you all could offer up things about this kind of lavender blue energy. I know some theories as well. I'm not even going to put them in this conversation because I think what's so cool is to just be open to it. However, feel free, have you connected with a blue or violet energetic like I have? I would love to hear what your experience with that has been, because I actually haven't met another person who's had that specific experience. So I'd be really curious to hear what it is for you. But if you've had a different experience, I would love to hear about those too, because I am fascinated by the different energies we experience in a life and who's visiting us and who we can perceive and what it feels like and how that's changed our life path or how that's shifted how we move through. I think it's so fascinating. I swear I could just sit and talk about this like for days on end, and it feels so good to get to just be honest and open about it. So yeah, leave your thoughts and comments below about the lavender blue beings, your own experiences, your questions, your thoughts. I'm so curious to hear what has come up for each of you in your journey, truly. And I'd love to see you on our Patreon. We're going to be exploring so many beautiful energies this November, and you can watch the entire series of Reclaiming Intuition. It's 2 hours of teaching over 4 sessions with accompanying worksheets and explorations to get back in touch with your deep intuition. It's a really precious thing that changed me as I was making it, quite honestly. You can also, of course, find me on Instagram or on my website, in any of those places. Thank you so much for being here. Let's do more of these. I would love to talk about some more of the experiences I've had. Even though that was the most prominent, there's definitely more experiences that have come through for me. So let me know if you liked this chat and if you want to do more deep diving and exploring into spooky places, or I don't know, is it spooky? Connective, numinous spaces. All right, everybody. I hope you have a beautiful week or morning or evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm sending you so much love, and let's talk soon.